Okay, everyone. This is Vince from Listings to Leads, and this is our weekly Facebook advertising call for real estate. So, when we get started here, I'd appreciate it. I know you see the GoToMeeting chat panel there on the right. If you could just pop in there that you can hear me, that you can see all this, but more importantly, how long have you been a client and have you run ads on Facebook? Have you run one or two? You've been doing it for months, never done it before. I'd like to know so that I know kind of what pace we need to go here. So if you're brand new to us or you're not a client, as you can see, we do have a lot of tools. They all come together in normal agent plans here that you can sign up for here. We also have office plans at a pretty significant discount, and you can reach out to me to do that. Let's see, we've got some answers here. Coming in loud and clear. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Been a client a few months, couple property valuation Facebook ads, great. Been a client for 7 months, great. 3 days. Okay, good. See that, Shane? You want to try this? And so you guys have done ads, and that's good. So I appreciate the kind of feedback there. So I leave this muted, everybody, so that because I am recording it, we don't want to have a bunch of feedback, stuff like that. But please feel free to put your questions in any time, and I'll kind of take a break from time to time, and we will answer those questions. So I'm going to ask one more, and hopefully I can get into my account while we're doing that. For those of you that have ran ads, do you feel like you've been successful? Are you getting what you want? Are you getting a few leads? Kind of what are the thoughts there? What's the feedback there? Whether you've done it with us the way we do it and the way we suggest, or whether you've done it with other companies. So before I take those answers, I'm going to point out I just logged into my agent account, so you should all have your own agent account. You should be able to log in. And there are some recorded webinars about Facebook. Right here is one. Neil Wolf is another one. He does Facebook advertising and uses one of our tools on Craigslist. He's targeting around, he shoots for 600 to 900 leads a month. So it's interesting to keep an eye on what Neil is doing, and he does it consistently. And then of course down here we got ways of registering for our classes, things like that. Over here on the left, we've got getting started. If you're a new client of ours, our support team should kind of set up your basic profile, but you might want to go through here and make sure you add all the kind of the extra things like social media account and stuff like that. And that's all discussed under this green button. This Facebook advertising is a little more in depth about what we're going to be talking about today. There's a really awesome open house marketing platform. Whether it's your own listing or you're holding the listing open for somebody else, it's right there. And then at the bottom of this page, if you open the listing presentation, is a really simple listing presentation. It's very helpful. A lot of our clients are able to win, every listing presentation they're on because you'll just see it's a very simple document, lots of graphics, and we cover so many things in our normal marketing. So let me. I am going to dive into that Facebook, but let's look at these questions, or let's look at these answers. Okay, that's good. Okay. So thanks everybody for your answers. My question there, if you didn't hear that, was what's your success like, right? Not very successful, not like I was hoping. I've done seller leads and have had some people click and have their info. That's good. Some are spam. That would make some sense. Did get some partial leads, mainly tire kickers, have about a dozen people, long-term follow-up campaigns. Okay, Michael, thank you. When I've used the find out what your neighbor's home sold or why, I get no email contact. Okay, so we'll talk about that. There's kind of it's a partial lead is when you get a lead without an email, right? You get an address without an email. So before we get into it, I want to kind of point things out here. You see this button here, it says click to join the mastermind group. If you click that for the first time, over here to the right is going to be a button that says join, right? And you should definitely join this, especially if you're running ads and you're not getting the kind of results you want. Because I'm going to show you the kind of the how-to, right? Exactly how do you do this, right? And here's somebody that somehow forgot how to change this, the wording. We're going to cover that. But a lot of what makes ads work really well is, do you use the right language? And what is your message? What is your strategy when you're running that ad? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But how to run an ad is really pretty simple, okay? But our clients share a lot of ideas here of what's working for them. And it's better, I think, than you trying to figure it out yourself when some ideas are already just working in the marketplace. So the mastermind group is a really important place to be. You should be scanning it once a week minimally. And that's it. So let's go into, I want to make sure you guys understand the strategy of really hitting lots of numbers with Facebook, because not everybody talks about that. You know that there are other companies that have this kind of technology. You can go to Home Value, Prime Seller, Curator, Jared James, and the list just keeps going. And everybody's excited to sell you a landing page that will give somebody a property valuation, and they might show you how to do it. They might put it on the internet for you. But what nobody really talks about is Facebook is a massive place where everybody is, where 71% of adults are, okay? So yeah, you can get some results if you just slap some landing pages out there, and you'll get some results. Maybe great, maybe not great. But our clients, we train them to do one thing consistently, and that is not just to run property valuation ads, but to build your brand. Because what you're really looking for is a lead with an email address. And you guys don't go filling forms out all over the place because you don't want to get spammed all over the place. And guess what? Consumers are just like you. So if you want them to be comfortable with you enough to give you a email address, you need to be in front of them so that they know who you are, that you have built some sort of comfort level with your brand, okay? You do that by coming to the listings page. And up here on the top left, these are your listings. You can have listings. There's all kinds of tools in here. And the single property website is a great tool to brand with, okay? Also, the landing page over here is a great tool to brand with. They kind of go the same way, but let's just look at them real quickly, okay? I'm going to click on the listing landing page over here. Got a picture of a house. You want more information, fill out the form, right? And this is what happens, just so you know what a listing landing page does. The consumer, how do you say it? The consumer gives you an email address and a phone number, or they don't have to, you can require it, but never recommend a phone number. And they click get the information, and it drops the consumer on the single property website. Now, if you remember what I just said about 60 seconds ago, the single property website and the listing landing page are great tools to brand with. So in this case, the landing page asks for the information before you actually get to this page. But since this is a single landing page, this is great to brand with also, right? I don't know if you can see my emails popping up here. I'm getting automatic leads and stuff like that, and that's the whole point of this. The thing that's nice about this single property website is it gives the consumer information right away. They can see the home. They could get a final price. They could search more homes. They could get their home value here, right? There's all kinds of lead generation built into the single property website, and these things are great. So the technical, how do I run an ad on Facebook? That's easy. We're going to do that twice on this call today. But the reason being is we want you to run some ads to get listing leads, and we want you to run some ads to tell everybody you're a realtor. And the longer you do that, the longer you tell people, hey, I'm a realtor and I got a home just sold or just listed or open houses, even if you borrowed them, the longer that you do that, the more results you're going to get on the property valuation, okay, on the listing lead. Because now these people have seen that you were a realtor, it's kind of jogging in their mind, blah, 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 right? I think you get that. I see some questions here, so let's look at that. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Yes, going well, have been going about a week, plenty of decent partials, full, keeps me busy. That's great, Ryan, thanks. What was the top listing on, it's a market report, yeah. So this here is a market report. This is something that if you want to brand, I don't get into building this too much. It's just like everything else, surrounded by lead generation, right? Right over here is a lead capture for home value. We give you kind of a templated information. All you got to do is refill it in with your local stats. And this market report will cycle through a bunch of properties. You can pull in properties. They could be yours. They could be FSBOs. They could be borrowed listings, whatever. I only have one there. Otherwise, it would be sort of cycling through properties. But all of these links on the left are obviously designed to capture leads for you as well. And I think when you think of a market report as a realtor, you're thinking about 2 to 3 pages of things that people have to read, which actually nobody really wants to read. They just want to look at houses, right? That's why they're searching on the web. I can guarantee you, when people are searching for 18 months on average in real estate, it's not to go reading things. It's to go look at pictures of houses over and over again. So this market report is really built with that. Showcase some properties, give them a home value lead up here. Here's another home value lead capture here, and here's a way to search more properties over on my website, right? So that is the market report. That is right here. You can go up here to our tutorial FAQ and search for market report to see how to create it and ways to market it. So I see some other questions here. Good question. Good question. I thought it was best to post a community unbranded page. Ellen, there's a lot of great stories. And guys, if you don't know what a community unbranded page is, a lot of people will say they'll create a page for their area, right? I live in Greenville, Delaware now, right? And I could create a page that says Vincent the Realtor in Greenville, right? Vincent the Realtor at Coldwell Bank, or whatever I want to do. That could be my business page. I can also create great Greenville homes, luxury homes, whatever, right? And that would be a community page, not necessarily branded to me, but that's what it is, and that's what people see. And that's cool. And I hear a lot of great stuff like, oh yeah, I get more leads on my community page and blah, blah, blah. You got to test it out. You should have both. You should see where you get better results. Okay. And when you see our clients, if you see the Shannon Pyatt call, where he's actually talking, let me see if I can find out what I'm talking about, his results on Facebook. He's doing it all from his marketing page, from his agent. There's a big picture of his face up there, and he's just running a ton of ads. And you see this picture here? You should watch this. I just did a search on our support page for the name Pyatt. This guy here has been a client of ours for a long time now. He's fairly tech savvy even before he came to us. But once he got a hold of our tools and started doing it the way that we were describing, he starts to get huge results. You see this picture here? It's a little red picture in him, and shaved head there. That's all over his stuff. His ads say the Shannon Pyatt home marketing system. This guy is killing it on Facebook, and you should watch here to see how he's doing it. He came to us on the same kind of call we're sitting on right now and said, guys, I'm doing what you're telling me, and I got 900 leads, right? And that was like, wow, and now he's consistently doing these kinds of things. So I'm pointing it out. I'm training you right now on what we've trained him to do, and we have more and more clients able to do this. So the one thing I'll tell you is, if you are new to Facebook advertising and you don't know a lot about it, it's kind of like you're tuning in, I don't know, an old-fashioned TV. You got to turn some knobs and get it right. And then this thing just starts humming and you start getting a bunch of activity and it's totally making sense. You may have to learn a little bit to do that, right? Am I the only one with seeing a black box on your screen? I think so, Ellen. Let's see, maybe you're, let's see, I see it also. Somebody's saying, are you guys looking at just a black screen? It looks like I'm showing my screen. Let's get off of here. Okay, so hold on, guys. It looks like I'm showing my screen. Partial black, some of ours. Yes, all I see is black screen for the questions, but I don't. But I do see the main background. Oh, but there are a couple black. Okay, okay. So you're blacked out because my question bar is right here in front. So right now, does it kind of? Let me shrink this thing over here. Can you see my whole screen now? And you should know that I think on the bottom right of that panel, you can expand it so it fills your whole screen. Much better. Okay, so I had some things there open because I was reading questions. Okay, got it. So just as a reminder where I went up here to tutorials FAQ, and I would write this down because I want you all to watch this. Type in the word Pyatt, P-Y-A-T-T, and it says right here, 100 leads, 3 to 5 deals a month. And there is a video right here, and I was showing you that it shows this picture and the Shannon Pyatt home marketing system. And the reason I brought you here is that is how he's branding his stuff. All of his ads are going through there, right? We have had other clients say, oh yeah, I got a community page and I feel like it's better because it's whatever, right? It's less obtrusive. But the reality is, if you're trying to get a home value, some of us know like we want to deal with somebody who really knows what they're doing, right? Not because it's an important number. So maybe the community page works, maybe you as the experienced realtor works, right? So you should be testing that kind of stuff out. There was another question. Yeah, okay, it's open now, all good. So there was another question. Sorry about that, guys. That I wanted to answer because it was different from the ones that you guys have been saying. Do I need a community page? Can I do this for my personal? You can't run ads from your personal page. You can, you do need to have a personal page to create a business page, okay? So let's go over and let's do the seller lead generation, okay? We got to build a business in my new area. I just moved over here to Delaware, and there's a town next to me called Centerville, okay? So let's just imagine you're brand new to us. You may have 4 or 5 towns where you want to build your business. Maybe you have a neighborhood that you want to build your business. You go right here to the landing page and you click right in this box and you type in and you spell it correctly and you capitalize it correctly, whatever the name of the town is, that's it. Okay, Centerville, and click save. When you do that, that creates a landing page under every one of these buttons. You can see I've got a FSBO landing page, an expired landing page. I got over here a growing family landing page. I got empty nester plus landing page. I got free HUD report landing page, and I got property valuation plus landing page. This one, property valuation plus, for trying to get listing leads, is my favorite. And I'm going to explain to you the difference of these. But I just want to point out, I'm going to go over here to the FSBO one over on the left. And I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and there's my Centerville page. And this is an old school style squeeze page. It's going to have your banner at the top. It's going to give a message on the left. Would you like some free tools? You can take this, you can get it in front of people who are FSBOs. Maybe you see a FSBO on Craigslist. Maybe you see it on Zillow or Truly or something like that. You can email it to them. You can put it on a postcard and mail it to them, stuff like that, right? And then we go back to the dashboard, landing page dashboard, and you'll see there's things for expireds. And then I said, empty nester, free reports, stuff like that. So I want you to understand, before we get into one of these property valuation pages, notice that there are 4. Property valuation 1, property valuation plus. God, we put this together so badly. It's ridiculous. It's not even the same. Anyway, property valuation plus and property valuation plus 1. Okay? So what I want you to understand is, what does it mean when the word plus is in the button? Right? There's plus here, there's plus down here, plus over here. Plus means that there's a built-in Zillow valuation at the last page. So the consumer, to get that valuation, has got to give you their contact information. Okay? Now 1, you see the word 1 here a few times. Property valuation plus 1. No, nearby home sold plus 1. Property valuation 1. And what 1 means is everything is on one page. Okay? And that means that the name, the property, the name, and the email are on the first page, on one page. You can't get anything until you give us your email. Some agents like that kind of thing. Other agents don't, okay? So let's go through and look at my Property Valuation Plus page. This is the one I like everybody to use. I'm gonna click on my Lafayette one, and I'm gonna walk you through what happens here, okay? A consumer gets here, you put it on a postcard, you put it on a, let's see, Huston Road, you put it on a Facebook ad, you put it on a Google ad. However somebody gets to this page, you push it in front of people. They come here, the first page is give us your address, okay? So, and I'm gonna tell you how to get to this and customize it. First, go. And at this point, the page is configured to show the consumer their home, right? This is my home over here. And that's my address. And so boom, we're looking at the home. So that gives us, I don't know if you can see it over here, I got a partial lead in my email. And the partial lead means I just got an address. I know somebody is interested about the value of this home. Now the page is configured to show you the home, but also to say, is this information on the left right? Is it correct, right? And you say, yeah, it's a 3.2 built in, it's got 1,950 square feet. That's good. Great. Then the page says, we have your valuation, right? To get the report, I got to give you my contact information, okay? Now, I'd say, and they got to give a reason why I need to sell soon. Whatever they do, it'll be built into the information, the auto response and all that. 80 to 90% of the people who give you the address will walk away at this point, okay? They just don't want to give you their information. Now, remember I was saying earlier, if you've actually taken the time to build a brand, you will get more leads. You will get better quality leads and higher volume of leads. And what I mean by better quality is you'll get more information. They'll actually be responding to you quicker because they understand you're a realtor now, right? And so we want to do that. We're just doing the simple, hey, let's get some listing leads. I know that's exciting to you guys, so we're going to start there. And now they've given you the contact information, and now they can see the estimate. And if they want, they can call you down here because your picture's here, and there's some nice lead links here to get, you know, to your website if you want to do that. So that's how the property valuation page works. When you go to the landing page section and you're kind of curious, like, well, what happens? What does the consumer see when they fill this page out? I'll tell you what, just click on it and fill it out. And you will see very quickly what you are going to see as an agent and what the consumer is going to see as a consumer, okay? So I'm going to go back to the landing page dashboard. I see some questions over here, so I'm going to answer those before we move on. Open now. Black coming back. Yeah, that helps. Just a little black right there. Yeah. Can we use, okay, what's the difference between light blue and dark blue pages? One just for emailing, okay. Can we use a market snapshot from Realtor.com other than Zillow? That's a good question, Jim. There are other kind of systems. Market Snapshot is one. I think Cloud CMA does that as well. So if you want to capture leads, you can just use the property valuation page. All it does is, let's just go through it real quick. It just says, click here, go to the 2-page version. What's your address, right? 1595. I'm just going to throw in any address that pops up here. Go, and it says, great. Well, what is your information, right? So you got to get the contact information for that to work. But at this point, you're going to get a lead. You can then take that lead and drop it into Market Snapshot manually. But we're not integrated with Market Snapshot. And the same, you know, we've got clients that use this page with Cloud CMA as well. And that's just kind of what you do there. So let's see here. Got lots of black. Okay. So let's go back to the dashboard and let's focus on Property Valuation Plus one. We just walked through it to see what it looks like. It is down at the bottom. So let's click on it, see landing page. and it looks like this. This is our generic suburban picture that Scott and I picked years ago, and it's cool, right? At least you can see what it looks like. But if you really want to get leads and you're running ads and your neighborhoods don't look like this, it's not going to work very well. And that's really the key. The first thing you got to do is you got to customize that background picture, okay? And I'll explain to you why. But so as you can see, this is in Centerville. So how do we do that? Okay, go to Google. Okay, let's just start at the beginning. Google.com. You can do it with other ones, but I'm going to do it here because I don't want to go through 5 different search engines. I just want to do it one time, and you can do it on Bing and Yahoo and all that, and I'm sure it will work. But on Google, this is what it's like. I type in Centerville DE, and then I click images underneath. Okay, it starts to show me a bunch of images, right? Now I don't know if you can notice, but when I highlight some of these, there's a little word down here. It actually gives the pixels, and it sends like the company it's come from. This one is Team Luca, so it's probably not something that you want to use, right? Because that's another realtor probably, and that's what they're doing. So we are on those images pages. You got to take a couple more steps here. There's a button here that says Search Tools. Click it. And now it opens another menu bar. Click on size and go to larger than 4 MP, 4 megapixels, okay? Now this shows us the pictures that are big enough to get to work in that background of that page. There's one more thing, usage rights. Click it here and say it's labeled for reuse, because remember I showed you that one picture and it had like, what's it called? It had a Team Luca, and Team Luca looks like, you know, you're going to have a copyright problem there, right? That's what that's going to happen. You run the ads, and somebody's going, hey, you're using my ad, right? You're using my photo, and they're not going to like that. So this is the Hagley Museum, and this is like something local, and that's cool. What you don't want to do is you don't want to run a picture of one single home. You can in some instances, but really you don't want to do that. You want to run a picture that looks like the actual town. I don't know what St. Louis is doing there. But let's just sort of pick this one here, just since we're talking about it, right? Here's the DuPont Historic Corridor. This is actually right here in the neighborhood. So I'm going to click View Image. There's a button here that says View Image. And I'm going to right click and save this image as over here, or one Windermere, and save it, okay? I save it right to my desktop. Then I go back to Listings to Leads, and you remember we were on the landing page Property Valuation Plus. I already created Centerville. I don't want to see it. I want to click this link here that says Edit. And right down from the bottom, right the second section down, it says Upload Background Image. So choose File, go to your downloads or go to your desktop, wherever you saved it, and click Open, and it'll kind of pop it in there, and then save it at the bottom, okay? Now when you save it at the bottom, it'll bring you back to the top, and I'll go through a little bit more of what you should do here. You can see that there's a page right, you know, they're showing you the background picture right there. Now, I know a lot of realtors, they'll come and see this page, and they'll just get sort of like, be reading all this, and they'll become totally confused from this one page. What do I got to do here, right? Well, what's this? What's this? And let me tell you, all you need to do is what I just did, is that background picture. That is it. It is ready to go, okay? Don't mess with all this other stuff unless you're just really one of those people that just likes to throw up your own roadblocks. Just don't even worry about it. There is one thing that I like to do, and you don't have to do it, but I'll show you. I'm going to do it. It says landing page text customization. Okay? What does that mean? This is the text that you can customize. Also, you can customize this. Get your answer here. Now, what is your Centerville home worth now? I'm okay with that. But I actually don't like get your answer here. I'm going to type in get your answer in less than 15 seconds. Now I want to point out, this is one thing here that's kind of like useful, but it's basically, you're going to have to learn about it over here as a video on how to do this. It's how to get farm market letters using the property valuation. So a great way to get home listing leads is not only Facebook, but to put it on a postcard, get it, direct mail it to people, and you know, get them to fill it out. That's actually, I've heard many times that the quality of seller leads is higher when you take a page like this and you mail it to them, right? And so here you can see a video on how you actually create that letter. The rest of this stuff, don't worry about it, okay? So I made that one change, and I'm going to save it. I made two changes. I did the background picture, and I changed that language to get your answer in less than 15 seconds. So let's go over here to this page again, and let's just refresh it. And you can see that it now looks like Centerville, okay? Now I want to kind of slow down a second because I showed you how to get a picture, but it is so important to get the right picture. And I showed you how to get it and how to do it so you don't, like, you know, upset other realtors and stuff like that. You just go to Google, it's free. But I'm also going to show you like it's so critical here. And this is, I know this gets lost on a lot of realtors, and you know, because they're, you know, they don't want to take the time to put into photos or whatever. But if you want really solid results, the better looking picture you have, the better it is, right? The better results you're going to get. But I'm going to show you this diner. I set up the office accounts for listings to leads. And Summit Diner, New Jersey, usually gets me. Oh, I got all this stuff here. Any size. Yeah, it gets me this diner right here. This is an old diner in Summit, New Jersey. Now, I haven't been to Summit, New Jersey, but I set up Coldwell Banker there, and they were running ads like I'm showing you. And the manager, you know, the head broker, came to me and said, hey, when we run ads with this diner, we get the most leads. So, and the reason why I'm pointing it out is it may not be what you're thinking is going to generate that consumer to slow down and look at your stuff. But what it really tells a consumer who's on Facebook is that you're from my area. You're just not randomly throwing stuff out that I'm going to just sign up something and get some spam. You actually know my neighborhood, right? Because this is on Main Street. It's been there for years. It's like, you know, it's an old converted railroad car with the booths and the diner and all that stuff. So everybody knows this. This is like, you know, you are a local. And that's really the point that I want you to think of, is what speaks to the people living in the neighborhood I'm targeting, that they're going to know, like, I am from there, right? And that's the point, because you're going to put something in front of them like this, and you're hoping to get their email address. And if you do that without, you know, kind of taking away some of that fear, you're just not going to get great results, okay? So it is important, really important, that you use this picture. I mentioned that call Shannon Pyatt. Shannon runs a lot of ads, and he pointed out in the call, he's like, you see this ad here with these colors and these flowers? He says more people click on that than anything else. And here's why. I'm going to take us real quickly over to Facebook. If you run ads, or if you have not run ads, I'm going to go just to my news feed. Okay. And you see that in the middle is this news feed, right? This is where the ads show up. Okay. Now, if that picture does not stand out, it's just a washed out old picture or whatever, or it's generic looking, I'm just scrolling by it, right? I'm blasting by it. So you want to really take a few seconds to get something that's colorful, that's bright, that kind of pops, because it's going right here, okay? And that's really the key, is take a few minutes and get that, okay? Now, we've got our page, it's ready. It's now ready to run the ad, so let's run the ad. Go to Facebook and click on this. Up here, there's a little navigation bar on Facebook. There's a little triangle that says pointing down. It's pointing down, and that opens a menu that says create ads. Click on create ads. Now, you know, like every other software company, Facebook is always changing what they're doing, right? They're always just saying, hey, is there a better way we can do this? And so they have actually made changes in the past couple weeks. And also I'm talking to people that are saying, actually, it's a little bit different from what I'm showing you, right now. So I will show you right now. I clicked on create ads, and it gives me 10 different options of what to do. What you want to do is send people to your website. So click it here. What some people are seeing, maybe you, maybe not you, is they're sending people, they're seeing only 3 options. If you see 3 options, put the ad on your business page and boost the post. I think that that sort of gets the credit card in there, and it gets everything running so that they give you this view. And this is the view that you actually want. This is more powerful than boosting a post. So what I did is I clicked on send people to your website. It says campaign name. I would recommend you change a campaign name, and there's a couple reasons why. You need to do this like anything else that's important in your business. You need to do this consistently. So there's going to be a point where you do have 20 ads and even 50 ads, and you want to be able to analyze what's working. What happens when I run a property valuation ad in July, right? As opposed to August, or as opposed to whatever else, right? Different from an open house ad, different from a just sold ad, right? All those things, you need to do that. So just put in a simple campaign name, only you see it, okay? Now here's where the power comes in to Facebook, and you may not know this, but Facebook is the #2 website in the country. #1 is Google. It is harder to target the people you want, I think, on Google, and I think it's also more expensive. And we're getting a lot of results here on Facebook. Our clients continually get results on Facebook. And you'll see why. Okay, you're going to see why right now. So yeah, you can certainly do this kind of stuff on Google, and we've got clients that do it, but we're just seeing this work time and time again. So the reason, the real reason, it is the #2 website, and people spend like 40 to 50 minutes a day in the United States. Adults spend 40 to 50 minutes a day on Facebook. So if you think that in the old days you used to advertise in a phone book, you know you're not going to be doing that anymore, right? You may think that their realtor.com is the #1 website in real estate. It isn't. It is not the #1 real estate. But you're spending $300 a month there, or all these other fun places to just burn money, right? Where you think you're going to build a brand and help your business. And the reason why I'm saying that is that our clients are finding, after they learn how to do this correctly, they're realizing that my 71% of my market is here. I can build my brand here, and I can build market share here. So here's why. The location. I'm going to type in Centerville, Delaware. Does that come up? Yeah, right there. Centerville, Delaware. Okay. And what it does is it punches out 25 miles out. But remember, my page is only talking about Centerville. So I want to go back and say, no, I only want the current city. They got to live in Centerville to see that Centerville home value page. Now, Centerville is like a pretty nice area. Nobody 18-year-old, it owns a home there, okay? So I'm going to put minimum 30 years old. You can get you can go in detailed targeting. I've seen a lot of people do that. We don't train on that because we just don't need to. Our clients get great results just from this. You certainly can. I'll tell you, a lot of people who are in the snowbird kind of area, right? The Southwest and Florida, they know people are looking from Chicago and New York, and you can actually target with those sections there. But just for the basics, building your business locally, you can kind of go at it just like I'm doing right now. And notice the next section down is placements, and this is an important piece. This page is on, it's saying, do you want it on the mobile newsfeed? No. I'm going to say no. Do you want it on Instagram? I'm going to say no. Do you want it on the desktop right column? I'm going to say no. Okay. It also, when you take it off of mobile, it takes it off of Audience Network. Now, you know, Scott and I run a bunch of ads, so we've actually had conversations with the account managers at Facebook. And when we said that we weren't seeing the results they wanted, say, oh, get the Audience Network off and get the desktop right column off. And I knew that, but I'm glad that they said that, because it just reinforced what I already knew about, you know, Facebook and the internet in general. Instagram is pretty cool, but let's remember that this page is like a 3-page page. This page actually is mobile optimized. So I did tell you to take it off because I don't want people to click on it on their smartphone and realize, oh, I got to go through 3 pages of this. Forget it. Because when they click on it, you pay for that click. It is a pay-per-click service you're doing with Facebook, okay? And so we don't want that. So when we're running ads to get seller leads, do not make it mobile news feed, okay? Instagram, don't do that there. Scott put on the mastermind group something about Instagram. You might be able to do it that way, but don't just run this ad the way that Facebook is going to push it, right? And now I'm going to say down here the budget. Change it to lifetime budget. Don't get scared. You're going to see the numbers move. We're going to change that number to 60 bucks. Okay? And it gives you a red mark because 60 bucks is not enough. And that's because they push you out a month. They figure you should run an ad for a month. We don't recommend that you ever run an ad for more than like 4 or 5 days because they just get stale and they're not getting the results. So also, don't run a property valuation ad. When you're brand new to it, start on Friday and end it in the same month on Monday. Now that red mark has gone away because it's only 3 days and it's 20 bucks a day, okay? And that's kind of the way, that you want to do that. Now, I have a really low reach here, okay? And I'm going to tell you, and Centerville was probably a bad area to reach, to do. And that's because Centerville, there's just very few homes. Fewer than 1,000 people live there. And I believe it because these homes are like, they're on 1, 2, 5, 10 acres. Not a lot of homes, but there may be areas like that where, you definitely want to get some business there. So you got to run this kind of ad. But I could run it in Wilmington and there are 350,000 people. And that's just like 10 miles away. Right, 5 miles away. So you got a broader reach. So it's really a bad example for me to do this call because it's saying fewer than 100 people are going to see it every day for 60 bucks. And that's a mistake on my part because usually when you run this in any town of like 30 to 50,000 people that live there, you will see that your reach is something like 1,000 people a day and you're running it for 3 days. So for 60 bucks, somewhere, and actually it's like from somewhere to 2,000 to 6,000 people will see it in 3 days. And that's good for branding because people start understanding, oh yeah, this person's a realtor, right? So let's remember that that's what reach is. People actually see it, okay? Now, they got to click on it to get that page to work. So let's go down here and click on continue to kind of make it work. And we'll do the other one in Wilmington so you can kind of see what that is instead of there. Now, it says connect to your business page. Now, I got a few pages, right? But I want it on my list, my listings to leads mastermind group page, right? You can choose. You might have a community page. You might have a realtor page. Then it says website URL. The website URL is on the top of this page. So copy this, go back to the ad manager, and paste it right here. When you paste it, it kind of pushes it down in blue. Click that blue thing and it pushes it up and then it starts doing its magic over here with a wheel and then it'll show you the picture. Let's give it a second for it to do its thing. And that's it. Okay, so remember here it says listings to leads mastermind group. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing you, the realtor, or maybe your community page, right? And this is the default language. Find out the home value of your Centerville home now. Whenever you take our tool and just paste it up there, do not use the default language that we put there. Okay, just don't use it. Here and there, and like I said, our mastermind group, a lot of people share ideas. This is one that works for a lot of people. Click here to get your online automated home value in less than 15 seconds. You remember I mentioned that earlier, right? And that's because nobody wants to talk to you. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but this message right here is telling people, hey, you want your home value? Get it here online, automated in 15 seconds. That's like painless. Yeah, I want my home value, okay? And down here it says Centerville home values. That's okay. If you change this here, it will change the letters here. If you change this language here, If you click Show Advanced Options, you notice it says Find out the home value center of the home now. If you click here, you could type in something, you know, something really crafty. And whatever you type in this box is going to show up right underneath Centerville home values. Okay? Learn more. If the consumer clicks on this picture, on these words, on this button, it's going to take the consumer to this page. And then people should sort of fill this out. Okay, so I see some questions here. So let me just finish the concept here. It's not on mobile news feed. It's not on the audience network. It's not on the desktop right column. It's not on Instagram. It is on the desktop news feed. And that is the center of Facebook. I don't know where I can show that to you. So the center column, that's where it needs to be. Okay. So I see some questions here. So let's take those questions before we move on. No audio yet. It says muted at the top. Can't hear. Lost sound. Oh, bummer. Well, I am still recording, so I'm going to keep going. Let's see here if I got an audio problem. Sorry, hold on, guys. Checking my audio. Oh, I see that. Yeah. What's up?